I'm Richard Southern in the 680 newsroom. The Toronto stock market closing out a money-making week. TSX hitting a record high the past couple of days. Things are looking better for Bay Street as the price of oil appreciates, although we did see a bit of a sell-off for Texas tea this past week. Bank of Canada this past week hiked interest rates up another quarter point to 1.5%. It means variable rate mortgages will be going up on average by about $50 per month. And if you have a loan tied to a variable rate, that's going to cost more. We've seen all the big banks raise their prime lending rates. Well, another Toronto sports stadium announced this past week that it's changing its name. The Ricoh Coliseum will now be known as the Coca-Cola Coliseum. Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment announcing a 10-year naming deal with Coke. They're going to have their logo on the outside of this, the home of the Marlies. Of course, it was only the other week that the Air Canada Centre was renamed Scotiabank Arena. We hit the Straits to find out what sports fans are thinking about all this.
We grew up with these names, but over time we'll just get used to them, I think.
I actually think it's nice to leave the arenas with the names that they are because it's traditional in Toronto, and it's good to keep some things as heritage spots.
Definitely, for sure, it's probably going to put business to the building. I mean, a lot of people bank with Scotia, and a lot of people drink Coca-Cola, so probably going to be a lot more support.
Just another sign of the corporate takeover of Canada, I guess. Yeah. Nothing beyond that. I don't have any particular affinity with the old names. To me, it's one big corporate versus the next.
Of course, the reason companies are changing the name is because it's the easiest money they'll ever make. Millions of bucks for just changing the name. Terms of this deal, though, not disclosed. Food news. The world has too much sugar, a big glut of the sweet stuff, and prices are plummeting as a result. Sugar on pace to be the worst commodity this year. It's down 25% this year, the wholesale price. We haven't seen that translate to the store shelves just yet, but consumers are becoming increasingly aware of the health impact of their sweet tooth, and companies have been eager to tout foods and beverages that have little to no sugar in them. Sugar, of course, has been shown to increase the risk of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Many cities and jurisdictions starting to tax it now as well. You've been on an airplane lately? Did you find the lavatory a tight squeeze? No, it's not your imagination or your waistline. Airplane bathrooms are getting smaller these days, and it's as airlines try and squeeze more passengers into the plane. Passengers know all too well how the seats have shrunk and the legroom has disappeared, and now it is the lavatory's turn. Airlines are retrofitting older planes and buying new ones with smaller bathrooms. It's to fit an extra row of seats in. This, of course, angering some flight crews and angering passengers, especially parents who need to go in there with their children. Well, it's a story that may make some of us shake our heads, but you got to remember, this is a successful business person we're talking about. The world is on its way now to having the youngest self-made billionaire ever. Who is it? It's Kylie Jenner. The 20-year-old worth $900 million right now, according to Forbes magazine, and she's expected to be worth $1 billion at some point over the next 12 months. Previously, this title was held by Facebook co-founder Mark Zuckerberg, who became a billionaire at age 23 in the year 2008. Jenner, though, she has founded a successful company called Kylie Cosmetics. It's worth $800 million, on track to do $1 billion in sales by the year 2022. Well, breakfast cereal falling quite dramatically over the past 10 years as consumers shift to healthier foods and as they consume breakfast in kind of a different way. But one cereal brand is killing it in the cereal aisle these days, and it's that cereal that they say is magically delicious. It is Lucky Charms, made by General Mills. It's seen a 20% increase in sales over the past year. It comes as people turn more towards marshmallows. Apparently that's kind of a hot trend in the food business, but it's also thanks to unicorns, believe it or not. Back in February, the company added a unicorn-shaped marshmallow to the cereal box, first new character in 10 years, and apparently that has translated into an uptick in sales for those Lucky Charms. We can't get enough of them. Finally, it's maybe another reason to go casual at the office when you go back to work on Monday. A new study finds wearing a necktie is bad for your brain. Researchers in Germany say the business wear staple reduces blood flow to the brain by squishing the veins in the neck. It seems tie wearers could be pushing blood into the skull, creating an unhealthy buildup of pressure. Doctors scanned the brains of 15 healthy young men. They then put on a tie, did a Windsor knot, and blood flow to the noggin dropped 7.5%. Now, the difference, they say, isn't enough to be a serious health risk for most, though those at risk for high blood pressure, they could be in trouble here with the tie. And other studies have found that neckties can actually be bad for the eyes with a buildup of pressure. In the 680 newsroom, Richard Southern, City News.